Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house, and today I'm in the house with the Jake Hoback Warhorse here with me for a review. We're gonna analyze the look, the sound, and the feel of this bad boy. But first of all, let me say a big thank you to my buddy Brandon for sending this guy along, so I'm able to share this with you. And also, please don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this kind of content right over here. So let's check this guy out. This is not like a huge knife by any means. Overall length of this one is going to be 7.65 inches with a 3-inch long blade and overall like around 4.5-inch long handle. So it's not a huge one. It's tall for sure, because I mean, this is the Ontario Rat number 2 and this is the Ontario Rat number 1, and you can see this is a big boy compared to that. So another couple options we've got right over here from Benchmade. This is your mini Reptilian and this is your Reptilian, and you can see, look at this, a little bit bigger than the Reptilian, which is not a big knife by any means. Like if you're like a Spyderco fan, this is your Spyderco Para 3, and maybe you got a Paramilitary 2 also from Spyderco, and you're gonna notice that this guy is bigger than that. So, I mean, Paramilitary 2 is not a small knife, but that's definitely a little bit bigger than that. And also, this is a Chris Reeve Knives. That's the small Sebenza 21. And here we also have a large Sebenza 31 with a nice box elder burl. And you can see, again, that's a bigger knife than the Hoback. Custom Knife Factory 520 right over here, and also Custom Knife Factory, this is the Snafu 2.0, and as you can see they are both bigger than the Warhorse. Let me show you just another couple right over here. Hinder Knives XM18 3.5 inch long, and this is Shirogorov F3 and S. Again, both are bigger boys than that. So, you know, let me just show you another couple here. This is the Benchmade Mini Adamas in the house, nicely designed blade for sure. And let me just show you also this guy over here. This is a Zero Tolerance 0456 Dmitry Sienkiewicz design, pretty cool one. And what else can I show you? Just another one, Spartan Blades. This is the Astor that we've got in the house, and I think you have the idea. I mean, this is not like a huge knife. This is something very interesting for a couple of reasons. So this is a $700 knife, first of all, designed by Jake Hoback in collaboration with Alpha Hunter, and it's a stout flipper. Like as you can see, it's not that big, but it's tall. It's made in USA, and it has very kind of like aggressive look when closed. You can see this really aggressive jimping, these fuller grooves going on the handle, on the blade, sharp and pointy, flipper tab. Closed, it looks like I mean, this is something like super solid. It feels really solid in the hand. It's a titanium frame lock, and it's DLC coated. You can see that the milling going on the handles is pretty extensive on the outside. There's a little bit of milling going on this side, and extensive internal skeletonization going on the show side. So really cool. You've got a couple of finger grooves which are gonna be fantastic when you're gonna hold and squeeze this handle. So really cool ergos. We're gonna chat about that in a second. You've got a titanium backspacer which is floating, as you can see. You have not drilled, I mean, you have like a lanyard hole which is passing through the backspacer and the scales, and you have a nicely centered blade, which is, I mean, it's safe, but you see, you can really just touch the tip of the blade. You're not gonna create any troubles. I mean, no, you're not gonna wound yourself, but it's there. You can kind of feel it, but it's safely, relatively safely recessed, I would say. Down there, you've got a flipper tab with a very unusual shape. It's pointing upwards, and this is going to be suitable for light switch deployment, not so much for like push button. Like if you try to do push button like this, it's not going to work. You have to angle it a little bit and just push kind of like in that direction, and it's going to deploy. But it's going to be a little bit pointy. So just keep that in mind. There's not going to be any disassembly video because this is a loaner, so I'm not gonna take this guy apart, but I can tell you that the construction is quite simple. You've got one pivot screw over here and just 4 screws that are screwing into the lock side on the frame, in titanium frame directly. So that's not like an ideal solution, because if you strip this screw, or the thread on the scale, yeah, you're out of luck. You're gonna have to change the scale. So that's a little bit of a risky solution. I will always prefer something not designed like this, but I mean, it is what it is. It's not a deal breaker, but just keep that in mind. Be extra careful when you maintain and disassemble this guy. Also, these screws are flush, like the pivot is absolutely flush with the show side. On the back, it's protruding out just a little bit, and the screws are indented, not absolutely flush, but not sticking out, so not protruding, which is pretty good. You also have something really interesting going on here. Stainless steel lock face insert right there with over travel lock bar integrated into the insert, but the main feature of this guy is the HDR, which is the Hoback roller detent going on. Basically, it's like a caged bearing, which you can see right there. It's not just like a ball press fit into the lock bar, and it's actually rolling. So it rolls when you move it like that. There's a nice detent ball ramp going on, and it has a nice mechanism, and it's creating to have a pretty smooth knife, and really cool idea indeed. Then you've got a tip-up carry only pocket clip, which is titanium and also DLC coated, but it's reversible, so you can just switch it and put it on this side right over here. So just, you have another option right there. The lock bar has an external cutout relief right there, and you've got some nice and crazy symmetrical fuller grooves going on both scales. So very interesting. That's gonna create some nice traction and nice grip when you're gonna hold onto this knife. The blade length is not that big. This is a 3-inch long Crewwear DLC coated Tanto blade, flat grind. You have a fuller here. You can use actually to kind of like deploy, sorry, not like that, but like that. You can deploy the knife using the fuller, but probably like that is going to be just more reliable. I mean, it's they're both couple options you can do, but probably the flipper tab is going to be absolutely easier to use. Also, you have something really cool, like sterile looking blade, nothing going on, just you only have some engraving going on over here. You have engraved like a cutout into the pocket clip, nothing going on the blade, which I absolutely love. And this guy is a Crewwear, so really tough blade, and it's maybe the only downside could be the corrosion resistance, but it's going to be pretty much good to go. Also, you have this interesting Tanto blade, aggressive jimping, not much chamfering going on. You have a little bit of a dip right here, and then so you have 1, 2, and 3 angles on the blade. Extensive fuller. You've got a finger groove, which is chamfered all around, and we can just check also how thick behind the edge this guy is gonna be, and you can see already. Oops, sorry. Let's do in inches. All right. So that's 0. You can see that this guy is 0.1865 inches, and let's just check how thick behind the edge this guy is, like over here, 0.0275. So it's a thick blade for sure. It's not super thin behind the edge, but I mean, it's decent. It's pretty good. This is something that it's meant to be like a hard use knife. This feels absolutely solid in the hand, and also the sound. When you open it, you feel like a beautiful thwack. When you close it, almost inaudible. So really mellow and soft. But when you open it, the thwack is really loud, and it's aggressive. You can have like, if you just wiggle like that, and you have like kind of like a small wrist flick to close it, you can increase the loudness of the sound. But when you open it, it's pretty pleasant, nice and good. Yes, really good sound. And you also can feel and hear the whirring of the roller detent going on. So absolutely cool and a little bit menacing sound, I would say. Let's just quickly check the weight, because this guy is titanium frame lock. There's some internal skeletonization going on. This is 178 grams, and let's see, in ounces is 6.29 ounces. The weight is not like super contained, but this is a big boy. Feels hefty. What is really cool about this guy is the grip. I mean, the feel in the hand is just fantastic. Feels like you could baton with this one. It's absolutely a stout flipper. Really, really solid. There's one issue, which is right over here. So you see, like the area here, it's not milled. There's no milling, there's no relief to disengage the lock bar. So it's very easy to just miss it. You have just to jam your finger, just press it hard and just do it like that. So it's doable, I mean, but it's not nowhere near close. Some, like for example, like this guy over here, look at this, you see, that's perfection. So this is milled out, so you sacrifice a little bit the cleanliness, but it's still achieved in a beautiful way. So you just do like this effortlessly. So just truly fantastic. But in this case, that's probably my one of my two gripes. So it's not super easy to disengage the lock bar. You have some absolutely aggressive jimping going on over here and here in the back. So the grip is going to be absolutely solid, and you're going to have some nice friction. This is not a slippery knife by any means. Fit and finish really good. I don't see any gaps, any misalignment. Everything looks pretty flush. There is of course no blade play. You've got some finger sore from the flipper tab if you stick like with the push button like that, and you have a little bit of you know, not finger soreness, but you have to jam your finger in this crevice to disengage the lock bar. So that's also something to remember. Nothing is rattling, so pretty well put together. There's no lock stick, of course, because of the stainless steel lock face insert. There is only another little detail, like for example, if you check the clip over here, the clip ramp is not that steep. It's not gonna have any hot spots created in your hand, but it's just a little bit not that steep at the entrance. I mean, the retention is really good indeed. You have these guys running on bearings, of course, and the deployment speed is pretty fast. The closing action, like as soon as you disengage the lock bar, you see that the blade is just dropping down, but you put in the vertical position, you're gonna have to wiggle it in order for the blade to get into closed position. So no guillotine effect. You have quite, I would say, medium to light detent strength. You have a nice detent ball ramp, which is gonna eliminate the hard step right over here, and you have a little bit of detent suction, just not too much, so not much magnetic effect. I mean, overall, this is a very interesting knife. It's not for everyone because it's a stubby, it's stout, it's a beast, but it's compact. It's a compact beast. It's tactical, it's menacing. The sound is beautiful when you open this guy. Ergos are fantastic. When you hold it. Just a couple of issues, maybe I would say, like this area here, yeah, it needs a little bit more love, I think, but overall it's a pretty cool knife. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned.